Welcome to another one of my Minecraft videos. Today we are going to be going over some small Germanic factories that I have, as well as a portion of a battleground that I have done. Before I go any further, I'd like to say that this is a World War II German themed map, and therefore you might see some things, especially in the my version of the Reichstag over there. You might see some things that may be offensive, or that some viewers may find offensive, so just be aware of that. And I do not condone anything that the NSDAP party, I keep saying party even though that's the last P in the acronym, I don't condone anything that the NSDAP did, nor am I affiliated with them in any way. But you will see some swastikas here, so just as a warning. So obviously in the previous videos, I showed the government building there, showed the church, as well as Germanic village, mansion, and a mountain house that you can kind of see in the background there. I showed those in previous videos, so check those out if you get time. And we'll start off with here. So when I was building my version of the Reichstag, I did have these buildings a lot closer, so I had to move them all back. Luckily, I knew how to use command blocks at this time, or they were available at this time when I did this, because these buildings had originally been somewhere up in this area. The water wheel that you see there was here, so I did have to move it back that far, as well as change the landscaping a bit. And should also note that when doing all these builds, I do not do any pre-planning whatsoever. It is all just improvising on the spot. I don't do any wool layouts like you see in probably some of the people who do bigger builds or something. I know I do have one build that I did do a little bit of that on, but for all of these builds here, they were all improvised on the spot. Just started laying stuff down and didn't really have any planning, just kind of formatted it in my mind. But with this, I'll just kind of do a little exterior. So that's the road there going off to the battlefield. This is all still work in progress, of course. This tunnel here would lead to up there. It's not complete. However, I will show it. This way would be going up that way, and then this way would be going towards the village. This would be this kind of supply tunnel of where that would be. So here's just the tunnel going up to the small factories. These are smaller factories that wouldn't be reminiscent of massive industries that would be made out of brick, but these type of factories could also be seen in the older world of Europe as well. Small little shops and buildings that look like houses. But you have kind of a conveyor belt here. And I can't remember if this power button still works. So when that is moving, the power is on, and the water actually goes over the water wheel there. And I believe, so when the power is on, the water is cut off there, and the water flows down here when the power is on. When the power is off, so if I go back in and turn the power off, the water flows back this way. There's a channel around, the water stops flowing over the water wheel, therefore effectively cutting off the source of power that this small factory uses. And should also note that here's just a small little gazebo. It goes down around to the backside of where the small truck and carriage are stationed under. And in the back here is a little storage area for their supplies. When making this, I don't recall what I was supposed to have this factory be as specifically, especially since this is a World War II themed map. Couldn't really figure out what this was. This was kind of designed before I thought of that. We're trying to figure out what it was. just kind of put these things together. But this is the upstairs, have conveyor belt here, kind of a assembly line type thing going on. As well as this here. And I know I say this is World War II themed, however, some creative liberties with the Minecraft thing, such as this may seem like a computer system to someone, which I guess it could be, but again, with creative liberties, kind of World War II themed map. So it also kind of goes into as if they won World War II, so that's also a part of the whole theme that I have in this world. And then obviously maintenance scaffolding there, kind of going up there. That's this building. And going over to, I don't think I can get there. Okay, maybe I can. This is just going through the conveyor belt to the other side. This side's not furnished at all. It just has the conveyor belt. This one kind of abandoned on the interior. Have a little office going up this way. Not much to it. And then going down the stairs here, same thing. No interior yet. It's kind of, as with all my other interiors, abandoned for now into the future of neverness. This just leads back into the tunnel. And then the other side of this is going to be a small office as well. That's what connects this here. Again, sorry for the mic. Mic is trash. But then I just have this landscaping back here. This waterfall goes that way, as well as, I think it just goes that way. When it comes down here, have this small little bridge. It goes under, and then flows that way. And this tunnel here, that just links up with what I showed before. Alright, so that's this part. So now we'll go into the actual battlefield portion of things, which is over that way. Before I do, I'll just kind of show this bridge that I have here. And of course this leads up to the mountain house that I've showed in a previous video. So with this bridge, I copied and pasted it and widened it to over there. So this stuff here is kind of a prelude to another video as well, where I've started creating a train station that is bigger than my version of the Reichstag over there by at least 4 times. And so that's a future video in itself. That's kind of just my idea area, or areas where I've moved this stuff to. Just kind of be for now, in case I ever need to copy and paste it again, so it would be out of the way of my actual build. So this here is just the wider version of the bridge. It's a little bit different in the top design here. So this one has that kind of top design there, and the road goes all the way over. Forgot to show the top design for this one. But it has that type of design there from above. And while it's nighttime, I might as well show this. I'm also over here. Lighting of the small factories. And then also this here was just a little storage area that currently goes nowhere. But it's pretty much that. So then if we come over here, back to the bridge, I do have 2 Opal Blitzes. This is the one type of design that obviously I took the layout from someone else on YouTube, and then I upgraded it with the current blocks, as well as added my own colors to it to make it a bit more appeasing. So this was the one thing that I did get a design from someone else, as well as some of the train cars, although I upgraded it and put a lot more detail into those train cars than what I took it from where I took it from. But everything else is all on my own, just placing things. And same with this, so I'll show this quick. This is kind of a tunnel that I created that goes to the parade grounds of the Reichstag, that go beneath the Reichstag. This was very interesting to build that curve, to say the least. So this just comes over here to the parade grounds of where the Reichstag are, and I don't think I really showed this in the video where I went over this, but this is kind of what the retaining wall looks like for up there. So kind of have some inset details there, and then the entrance is pretty much the same as the other side. I'll probably end up doing some lighting to try to get this lit up more. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. This is actually probably the first time I've seen this at night for that, so I definitely will need to illuminate this in some way. Have to figure out how to do that without destroying the actual design. But we'll go back through here, and we'll get to the actual battlefield portion of this. So the Opal Blitz is there with their blackout lights, and so up here, let's switch it to day, we have kind of some bunkers, some barbed wire. The trenches are not anywhere near complete. Definitely will be having a lot of sandbags and some other stuff, and change the design up a bit so it looks a bit more raggedy. Well, maybe not for these ones up here, but I do have a separate trench line down there that's kind of getting at what it would be. Sort of. But since the Germans have the defensive in this, they would have the better trenches. Plus they generally had the better trenches overall. Or at least speaking of World War I. So just kind of go in this bunker here. There's not much to these bunkers, other than when you walk in, try to keep it realistic in terms of you have your machine gun ports facing the entry points. And this is kind of the overview there. To that. Then back here I do have a what should be a Pack 40. Obviously I haven't built an emplacement around it at all. This was one of those other designs I kind of just upgraded from someone that I saw on YouTube. But if we go in this bunker, this one's a little bit more sophisticated bunker. Then have your little MG ports that you can shoot out of for all your different directions, as would be with bunkers. Machine guns out this way, pointing out this way. And machine guns pointing out that way as well. This one you have your little machine gun port there to shoot through. Then the biggest, or not the biggest, but probably one of the more important bunkers here is the 88 bunker that I have here. So this just goes around. This one's a bit more camouflaged in the back. It's a bit more open. Then you got your machine gun ports pointing each way towards the door there. And then the black heads were supposed to be the AP rounds. The creeper heads were going to be the HE rounds, so that's what I had those designated as. And then this is just ammo storage here. 88 there. And then up here we have our observation area, and with more machine gun ports pointing towards the inner parts. This just points out I have area for the machine gun port there, and then kind of a general map. So you have the bridge there, and trenches, And then this is what the Reichstag, the church, and the small little factories look like at the map. I don't know, this still needs to be updated, I believe. It's not showing some of the landscaping stuff that I've done within them. But this is just another storage area there. With that's pretty much it for this battlefield and those two small factories. Just gonna double check. Mud trails there, and yeah, the train station, and I do have a beginning of a shooting range that are over in that direction too. Those will be in a separate video. And then this road just kind of leads to nowhere currently. And yeah, that is it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next video.